Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. I don't think there was a boy who grew up in the 40s and 50s in Great Britain who was not fascinated with steam trains. My city of Bristol was a major destination on the route of the Great Western Railway, which linked London with southwest England and South Wales. Groups of eager schoolboys known as train spotters would gather at the end of the platform at Templemead Station, one of the few in Britain built on a curve, by the way, armed with notebooks to record the name and number of each locomotive they saw. There were classes of locomotives: manor class, city class, castle class, king class, graded by their power and the number and the kind of wheels. What a thrill to stand by the huge driving wheels when the conductor blew his whistle, the door slammed shut, the steam hissed, and the mighty pistons forced the wheels to start turning, gaining speed with each rotation. Little wonder then that I was delighted when years ago relatives introduced me to the Georgetown Loop, a 3-foot, narrow-gauge United States Heritage Railroad located high in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. Originally part of a larger rail network, this spectacular stretch, completed in 1884, was considered an engineering marvel and used extensively during the silver boom of the late 19th century to haul silver ore from the mines at Silver Plume down the 4.5-mile, 640-foot drop to Georgetown. Last spring, when vacationing in the area with my brother Eric, we booked a ride on the train from Georgetown to Silver Plume and back on the first day it operated for the season. Arriving in the area a day early, when no trains were running, we parked in Silver Plume and decided to examine the rolling stock at the station, as nobody seemed to be around. Steam engine 111 was in the train yard just beyond the station, near the engine shed, where these huge machines were serviced and repaired. Like two young schoolboys, we advanced surreptitiously towards the huge locomotive, sensing that if we were caught, we could be hard put to explain why we were apparently trespassing in the train yard. Still, we inched closer to the train shed as we examined the mighty engine 111. Suddenly, there he was, nose to nose with us. Not a police officer, but a big man of the mountains, bald and with a long black and gray beard, purple western shirt, and stained overalls. "Come into the engine shed," he said. "Come and see what we have inside." It was Sam, a kindly engineer who lived nearby in a trailer and was responsible for repairing and servicing the rolling stock for the Georgetown Loop Railroad. Immediately our anxiety was replaced by gratitude as Sam ushered us into the huge shed. What an adventure! There we were up close and personal with engine number 9, an 80-ton locomotive that is one of the 3 largest narrow-gauge locomotives ever built, with vertical engines and an off-center boiler. Sam seemed pleased to have visitors, and we were obviously awestruck as he explained engineering details that the Pavey brothers would never be able to remember. How welcome was Sam's invitation? Come and see. Reflecting on that experience later, my mind went to 2 disciples of John the Baptist who were curious about who this Jesus was who had just shown up on the banks of the Jordan River. "Rabbi, where are you staying?" they asked. "Come and see," he said. And they went with him to the place where he was staying, and they remained with him the rest of the day. Come and see. On another occasion, Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Come to me." And yet again, Jesus stood and shouted to the crowds, "Anyone who is thirsty may come to me. Anyone who believes in me may come and drink. Come and drink." Jesus invites us to come to him in faith, to find rest and satisfaction. He calls us to trust him with our future, to believe that because he rose from the dead, we too will rise from the dead. So we'll have a future and a hope if we respond to his invitation and come. He's not calling us in these pages to keep the golden rule, to give to the poor, to attend church, to read our Bibles, all of which is good, of course, but to come to him, to come to Jesus and find peace. Coming to Jesus presupposes recognizing our need for forgiveness and realizing that in giving his life on the cross, he made a way for God to be fair and the one who makes those who trust him right in his sight and gives them eternal life. He gave his life that we might have quality life here and now, and life with him in eternity. He invites us to come to him. Though Sam could have chased the Pavies off the property, he warmly welcomed us in. It would have been unthinkable not to accept, wouldn't it? And thank you for tuning in once again to Village Church Connections.